All right, so a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between a wholesale and a hotel deal? Okay, it's very simple. A wholesale deal is a property that usually needs a lot of work. It's a full rehab, it's a fix and flip, okay? So those are more risky. You gotta put more money and time into them. So that would be a wholesale, right? You put it under contract with the seller at a certain price, you find an investor, and you sell him or you assign him the rights to your contract for a profit. Whatever the difference is between what you negotiated with the seller and the investor. So a hotel property is this right here. So what that is a property that you negotiate at a good price that doesn't need too much work. Okay, you're gonna need a little bit of capital for this though, okay? Because with this, you have to actually purchase the property. Okay, you can do it with private money if you know somebody and you won't need really much out of pocket. You can do hard money. There's different things you can do, or if you just have cash, you can just cash it out. So what wholesale means is it's a wholesale deal, but you purchase it and put it on the market and sell it retail. So wholesale, get it retail, wholesale, okay? So that's what this is right here. Somebody can get a loan on this. Somebody can buy this with conventional financing. And that's what this is. So I just met a contractor right now. We walked through the property. He's gonna give me a bid on maybe touching up paint inside and outside, putting in some carpet, and replacing a board or two. And that's really all you really wanna do on a hotel deal. Okay, so this property, I actually came zero out of pocket, okay? That's a whole nother video, right? So if you're interested and you're getting value from this, hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Follow me and DM me on Instagram. I always respond to my messages there. I like to help as much as possible, and I'm doing this, because when I was coming up, doing construction and remodeling just a few years ago, I wish I knew this stuff, It took me a long time to learn. So I hope y'all guys are learning something. And that being said, I wanted to show you the property and show you what it looks like from the inside. So I'm gonna break down these numbers on the whiteboard, and I want y'all to check it out and see the pros and cons of each one. So the neighbors actually approached me that I'm selling how much, really interested as is, and they're staying next door neighbor with one of their family members, and they have a bunch of family living here right now, so we're in flow, baby. So as you can see, this property is in pretty decent condition. It's livable. This property's clean, right? It's not too bad. It's not a complete fix and flip. So what we're gonna do here is we're literally gonna just put grout in this tile. We're gonna put a fresh coat of paint inside here. We're gonna replace carpet in 3 rooms. That's it, we're throwing it on the market, okay? And so the houses in this neighborhood are going for about $175 with new kitchens and baths. We're not doing that, so we'll probably do it for $165 and see what the market dictates. So right now, this market right now is hot. So anything under what everything's going for gets locked up real quick. We're in a seller's market, so I'm taking advantage of that. But man, take a look around. Look how clean this thing is. So man, I'm just blessed to be in the position where I could be able to knock these properties down with zero out of pocket. Who does that? As a matter of fact, I got money back at closing, like $300 for some reason. I guess it was because of my lender and stuff. He wanted like an even number, and everything came out to a little less. So I got like $300. Yeah, I got paid to close this. What did I do with that I don't even know. I probably took my team out to eat or something. But man, it's a beautiful deal. So the guy originally wanted $120,000. I told him I couldn't do it. That was pretty much retail. I offered him 100. And that's what I thought the ARV was a little, like maybe 15, 20K lower. So I could have did it there, but after I reviewed it again, because I gave him an offer of 100, he called me back, said if I can do 105. And he came back, you know what, we met in the middle at 102, 102.5, something like that. So after reviewing the numbers again on MLS, I noticed like, hey, this thing might be worth 175, as is, maybe 150, 160. So I don't want to give too much away. I'm going to break down the numbers on the whiteboard so you can kind of see it written down so you can understand it a little better. But man, it was a great deal. I actually was thinking about living here myself because I love this city. I grew up going to the river and stuff down the street. And but after doing the numbers, you know, actually I really want to do an Airbnb. That's what I wanted to do. But after reviewing the numbers, actually I wasn't reviewing the numbers. The city's enforcing no Airbnbs in residential areas. All the Airbnbs are downtown and near the river. So with that being done, I was like, man, I'm gonna just capture this equity because the market's so hot right now. So that's what happened on this one, man. So you saw me earlier at the property, okay? You saw the property, you saw me walking with the contractor, you saw me pretty much sell it to the neighbor, which was crazy. That's how you know we're in flow, all right? And I promised I was gonna show you and break down the deal on the whiteboard and show you the numbers as to why a wholesale deal made sense over a wholesale deal, okay? So check this out. Wholesale, right? Wholesale. And right here we'll put wholesale. Excuse my bad handwriting. I never went to college, you know. Wholesale, hotel, okay. Wholesale deal, the ARV, it's gonna be the same on both sides. Is $175,000. Okay, it's the same on both sides. But see, on this side, investors go off formulas. They're paying cash. They want a certain return. So I'll do the numbers for you right now. I think the highest bids we got, our offers were like 125, something like that. So 175, and I'll even go high on the percentage. That's a 133 offer before repairs. That house needed maybe 10 in repairs. It was clean. So at 76% of a deal, that puts them at 133,000. This is how investors do their numbers, right? So they're gonna want at least 10 to 15,000 in room on repairs. Let's just say worst case scenario, best case scenario, they only put $10,000 in repairs, right? That puts it at 123. I think our highest offer on this was like 125, okay? And it makes sense, all right? They went a little higher on their percentage. They went probably 77%. Okay, so that's what I would have sold this deal for. Mind you, that's cash. That's them paying closing costs, no realtor fees, no repairs, etc., right? Yeah. And we were getting the contract at 102.5, right? So that leaves a net profit, because we're not paying closing costs, $175,000, and somebody can live in it and get a loan as is. It's that clean. Since it's $175,000 and it's a seller's market, everything's selling fast and selling high. So I could have two options. I could put I think he gave me a quote for like maybe 2,500, $3,000. Let me see what his quote was. Let's just say about $3,000 and put it on the market for 165. But if I did that, I'd have to pay another realtor 3% and I'd have to pay closing costs. So on 175.
And that's on top of the closing costs you already paid from the first transaction.
Exactly. That's $5,250 just in 3% listing it. And that's with me listing it. I get Marlissa or Sebastian listed for 1%, that's an extra $1,750. So you're looking at $7,000 just put it on the market for 165. I'm looking at paying $7,000 plus about $3,000, right? For repairs. That puts me, that's not even closing costs, at $155. Minus a little bit of closing costs, and then they're gonna be a little bit more picky and they might want me to do repairs. Right? So I'm gonna be probably like around 162, 163, right? If I do that route. Or the neighbor just hit me up and said, how much as is, right? Older couple living right next door with their family members and they want a house there, right next door. So I told them I'd do 159 if they didn't have a realtor that I had to pay, which they don't. And I don't have to do any repairs and they pay the closing costs. Okay, they're getting a house for $159 that's worth $175. Wouldn't you say that's a good deal for them? Okay, they're getting a little bit of equity, but they're getting it for under what they're going for, and they don't have to compete with the market. We're doing this off market. They don't have to compete with other realtors giving me offers. They like that. So if they're paying for all the closing costs, that puts me at 56, because I bought it at, remember, 1025, right? That doesn't include closing costs, because over here there was no holding costs, right? But now I have holding costs and closing costs, which was, I rounded it off, it was, I borrowed 1025, 2%, 2,000 there, 3, 4. I had about 6,000 in closing costs, okay, and holding costs. So minus about 6,000, let's say 6,500. And this is on the high end too. I'm just going up, just benefit of the doubt, right? That leaves with, well, that was easy, man. Do you see the difference there?
I see a big difference there.
That's a big difference, right? All because I knew the difference between a wholesale and a hotel. Okay? So do these numbers make sense to you? Does that make sense? So now you learned a new tool to put in your tool belt. Okay? This was very simple. It's a very simple deal. And you ask, well, JR, how do I get the money to close this, right? How do I do that? Well, you got hard money options, right? So with hard money, you could take this deal down at 175, 70%, they'll lend you 122. I only wanted 102, right? So all day long, they'll lend you on that, right? There's no risk for the hard money lender. So if you build enough rapport, you can get it through hard money with very little down, okay? Private money is always the best. That's just knowing somebody that has money. That's what private money is. Knowing someone that just has money that wants to make a return, a small return, you know, with very little risk as a lien holder. What I did here is I just used one of my properties. I just put it against one of my properties that I own free and clear, and I don't have to come nothing out of my pocket or anything. And I do that with a lot of my. I could buy many properties with that one property free and clear. It's a personal relationship I got with somebody, but that's how I did it. Boom. That's how you do it. If you got any more questions, reach out to me on Instagram, JRHernandez88. Send me a DM. I like to engage with everybody. And if you got some value, do me a favor, subscribe, like, comment, show me what you liked about the video, what you want me to do a video about next, and I'll see you later on the next video. Peace.